Hello guys, for today let's talk about soil taxonomy. But for this particular comprehensive lecture, we will only be dealing with order. Okay? Hindi muna natin pag-uusapan yung ibang mga hierarchy levels in the soil, but I will be briefly discussing to you what soil taxonomy is, what are the different hierarchical levels, and then we will move with the 12 broadest soil orders that we know of. Now, soil taxonomy is very important in soil science. Bakit? Because it allows us to classify and organize soils based on some of their features, some of their characteristics, such as yung kanilang moisture content, yung kanilang temperature regimes na tinatawag, how are they formed, yung kanilang practical applications, etc. And soil taxonomy looks something like this. So meron tayong different hierarchical levels, such as when we are naming our plants or animals. Remember, when we are naming plants and animals, meron tayong, for example, species, genera, family, order, suborder, up until we go to the broadest level. Sa soil taxonomy, may ganun din. Meron din tayong broadest level and then meron tayong specific level. And the hierarchical levels is divided into 6 categories, by the way. Starting with the broadest one, we have the soil order. Soil order is the broadest one because it describes how the soil is being formed. Pinapakita din dyan yung mga different climatic factors that allows the formation of your particular soil. So ito yung pag-uusapan natin. We have 12 soil orders. We will be discussing that right after a brief introduction on these hierarchical levels in soil taxonomy. Now, after identifying kung ano yung soil order ng ating lupa, we now move to the suborder. And the suborder is a division, a subdivision of your order. Mas mababa siya sa yung order. Okay? Pero ang tinitignan na natin dito is ano ba yung mga iba't ibang environmental factors. So ano ba yung mga iba't ibang environmental factors that affected the formation of your soil. So we're looking at factors such as, kumari, moisture levels. Gaano ba ka-saturated ng tubig? We're looking at temperature. We're looking at drainage. After the suborder, yung mas mababa doon, more specific, okay, we have the grade group. Now, the grade group is more specific characteristic within your suborder. So, ang tinitignan na natin dyan is yung, yes, the characteristics within suborders. Specifically, we're looking at characteristics within the horizons. And at the same time, yung mineral content ng lupa. Below your grade group, we have your subgroup. Yung subgroup mo naman niya, tinitignan natin dyan, ano ba yung unique characteristic ng grade group na yon? We're looking at deviations. We're looking at unique features that makes the soil the unique features that makes the soil deviated from other soil formation types, for example. And below your subgroup, you have the family. And sa family mo naman, tinitingnan na natin dyan primarily yung practical applications ng lupa. So we're looking at factors like physical and chemical properties, soil texture, whether the soil is clayey, sandy, loamy, and even the mineral components of the soil as well, whether that be, for example, montmorillonite, montmorillonitic, or kaolinitic, etc. And the last one, yung pinaka-specific na level, would be your soil series. And your soil series, by the way, is more than likely always location-specific. So, tinitingnan na natin kung nasaan ba yung lupa, o what specific location, where are the soil found specifically in terms of its geographical location. So these are the 6 key hierarchical levels in soil taxonomy. Ganyan po tayo magpangalan ng lupa. And usually, when we name our soil, we start from the bottom. So we start from 6 here, from the soil series, going up to the order level. So yun yung mga iisa-isahin ko na discussion on soil taxonomy. Primarily, sisimulan ko nga dito sa number 1, soil order. And then we will go down to 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess 6, if we can cover 6. Although sobrang specific na yan. Pero we will go down to 2, 3, 4, and 5 for sure and look at the different factors or different variables that we consider in classifying soils in terms of its suborder, grade group, subgroup, and family. Now, before moving to soil order, magbibigay lang ako ng example ng isang soil taxonomic name or soil nomenclature. We have here Drummer series, fine Montmorillonitic, thermic type Argiaquols. So, medyo mahaba-haba. But if you can see here, nasaan dyan yung ating soil order? Yung soil order natin is depicted by the suffix -ols, which means it's a mollisol. So later on, makikita natin yung mga different classifications within the hierarchy has their own prefix and suffix that would allow us to better classify kung ano yung type ng lupa na yon. So itong OLLS na to, OLS, is a term that describes mollisols. Ano yung kanyang suborder? Ang suborder niya is ito, yung AQU, which means it's aquic, which means ito ay lupa that is saturated with water at times. Right? Yung grade group niya is that it is, these soils are contained in the argillic horizon. So we're looking at the horizon level now, kung saan, dito sa argillic horizon, this develops. Bakit? Kasi nga aquic yung lupa. So nagkaroon yung water movement resulted to clay deposition. Because since aquic yung lupa, that water that stays in the soil creates now clay deposits, which now impacts, of course, yung water retention and root growth ng iyong halaman. So yan yung grade group level natin. How about yung subgroup level? The subgroup level is this one, typic. Ibig sabihin, typical, common, wala siyang any unique feature. Remember, yung subgroup natin, we're looking at certain deviations or unique feature in your soil. Now, this one has no unique feature, so it's typic. And we have the family, yun yung pinakamahaba. The family here is fine, Montmorillonitic, and thermic. Which means, fine describes yung soil texture. So, ibig sabihin, fine particles. Yung Montmorillonitic, this is the mineral, this is the clay mineral of the soil, which means it's Montmorillonitic. Kapag basa, nagsuswell siya. And yung thermic represents now the temperature regime of the soil. Now, we will be talking a lot about temperature regimes on the on future lectures. Siguro bukas, mapag-uusapan natin yung part na yan. And itong Drummer series, of course, with the name series itself, yan po ay, yan na yung series aspect ng yung soil hierarchy. And this one is usually found in Midwestern United States, specifically in Illinois. So yung OLLS dito, yan yung order. Sa isahin ko lang. Yung AQ here would be your suborder. Your RG would now be your grade group. And your typic is your subgroup. This one now, itong mahabang to, would now be your family. And this is your series. So, ganyan po tayo magpangalan ng lupa. So, medyo mahaba-haba, although may mga suffix and prefix tayo na ginagamit, for instance, that allows us to, at a glance, malalaman na natin kung ano yung soil order, for example, ng lupa, or yung kung ano yung kanyang moisture regime characteristic, kung ano yung kanyang temperature regime characteristic, etc. So, kapag naka-encounter kayo ng mga ganitong pangalan sa exam at tinatanong kayo, for example, kung ano yung order, dapat familiar kayo kung ano yung suffix, kung ano yung suffix or shortcut phrases na dinudugtong sa mga pangalan na to in order to determine the order of the soil. So ito na. Pag-uusapan na natin yung 12 soil orders. And we will start off with alphisol. Your alphisols, these are soils that are found in temperate, humid, and semi-humid regions. Primarily kapag forested vegetation yung area na yon. Ito yung mga soil na mataas ang kanilang fertility. Yes, high fertility. Because they have high clay content. However, they are moderately leach soils. If you can see here, yung picture ng alphisol, you can see that it is moderately leach kasi yung upper horizon ng lupa na to medyo bleach siya, medyo walang kulay. So we can see na nahuhugasan yung area na yan. So there's frequent leaching there. So that is your alphisol. And alphisol has the suffix alf. So madalas dinudugtong yan sa pinakahuli ng pagpapangalan ng lupa. Alf. Yan yung suffix niya. We also have your andesol. Your andesols naman, these are soils formed from volcanic ash. These andesols are generally fertile kasi nga galing yan sa vulkan, which is the ash is very high in organic matter content. And these andesols are usually found as well in areas kung saan may vulkan or may recent volcanic activity. And ang kanyang suffix ng andesols are AND. We also have the soil order that is found in deserts, in areas na medyo mababa ang rainfall, wala masyadong ulan. We call this aridisols, and ang suffix niya is id. Now, these soils, they have very, very limited organic matter. Okay? And oftentimes, napakaraming salt and carbonate layers. Now, bakit kaya maraming salt or carbonate layers sa mga aridisols? Well, kasi sa aridisol, wala masyadong ulan. So, walang leaching na nangyayari. Hindi nahuhugasan itong mga salts and carbonate layers. Kaya mataas ang salt and carbonate layers dito. Wala masyadong ulan, hindi nahuhugasan yung salt and carbonate layers, kaya nag-i-stay dyan yung salt and carbonate layers natin. So, yan yung characteristic ng aridisols. We also have entisols with the suffix ENT. Now, these are your soils with very, very minimal horizon development. Right? Or very young yung lupa. Kasi hindi mo ma-distinguish yung mga different soil horizons niya. Hindi mo alam kung nasan yung A, B, and C. Halos magkakamuka yung area ng lupa. Wala siyang distinct horizon development. And these entisols are usually found kapag yung slope ng lupa is steep. So matarik yung slope ng lupa. And it is also found in floodplains. Okay? Kapag madalas bahain yung lupa, nagkakaroon tayo ng entisols na mga soils. So why? Why kaya kapag steep? Well, we have to understand na kapag steep yung lupa, madalas nagkakaroon yan ng erosion. Now, kapag nagkakaroon ng erosion, hindi siya ngayon makapag-form ng soil horizon niya. Kasi laging nawawash away yung portion ng lupa, laging nagkakaroon ng bago, for example. So, parang isipin nyo na lang, laging nasi-shave yung lupa. So, di ba? If you're a guy, you always shave, hindi mo makikita natutubo yung buhok mo kasi you always shave. So, yung mga lupang ito, parang they are always shaven due to their steepness, mataas ang erosion, so hindi mo mapapansin na nagkakaroon ng horizon development. Same concept applies kapag yung lupa mo malapit, for example, sa mga riverbanks na madalas bahain. Kapag nag-overflow yung tubig sa river, huhugasan niya ngayon yung lupa. So instead na mag-develop yung lupa ng soil horizon niya, laging nag-overflow ngayon yung river and hinuhugasan siya, hindi na ngayon siya makadevelop ng bagong horizons. Right? So that is why entisols have minimal horizon development. We also have those soils that are found in very, very cold climates, such as your polar regions or yung mga regions na mataas ang altitude, such as your Mount Everest, for example. We call these soil orders as jelly soils. And ang kanyang suffix is EL. Now, your jelly soils, these are soils that contains permafrost within 2 meters in the surface. So yung surface ng lupa within 2 meters, mapapansin nyo, may mga yelo dyan na hindi natutunaw yung yelo na yun. Basically, these are water and dahil malamig yung lugar, tumigas na siya doon sa part ng lupa, doon sa pore space ng lupa, and hindi na siya natuto, okay? Hindi na siya natutunaw. Thawing pa lang tawag doon. So dahil hindi siya natutunaw, nag-i-stay siya dun sa lupa, we call that as permafrost. And permafrost often occurs in your jelly soils. We also have your schistosols, right? Your schistosols are very organic rich soils. Your schistosols has this suffix, IST, and they are often called peat and muck soils. So when you are asked, what are the soil order that is called peat or muck soils, automatic ang sagot, schistosols. Now, schistosols are found in wetlands and marshes. So yung mga lupa na madalas nababasa, okay? Madalas waterlogged, okay? Madalas saturated with water, schistosols po yan. So dahil saturated sila ng tubig, yung mga organic material nila nag-i-stay lang doon sa lupa. Yun yung isa sa mga primary or unique feature ng ating schistosols. We also have inceptisols, which has a suffix of EPT. Now your inceptisols, they are like your entisols. No, they are young soils din kasi wala silang masyadong soil horizon. But mas may soil horizon ang inceptisol mo as compared to entisol. Kung mapapansin nyo dun sa photo kanina, yung entisol nyo, hindi mo talaga makita dun yung soil horizon. Dito sa inceptisol, makikita mo pa rin naman, like for example, meron pa rin distinguishment, meron pa rin, you can still distinguish the different soil horizons. However, the horizons are weakly developed. Yes, makikita mo yung partition pero hindi ganun ka-obvious yung partition ng different soil horizons. So inceptisols are also young soils with weakly developed horizons, pero mas develop siya as compared to your entisols. And your inceptisols are usually found in different landscapes such as mountains. It can be found in mountains kung saan mataas rin ang erosion, particularly dun sa mga steeper areas. And also it can be found in valleys. So these are your inceptisol soil order. We also have mollisol. Ito yung example natin kanina. These are very much fertile soils with thick, dark, and organic rich surface layer. So ano yung suffix ng mollisol natin? OLL. Now your mollisols, they are highly productive soils for agriculture. And usually these are found in grassland regions. Okay. So goods yan for agriculture. Why? Well, fertile kasi yung lupa. Sabihin, mataas yung organic matter content dyan, mataba yung lupa, bagay na bagay sa ating mga halaman. Meron din naman tayo yung red soil, no? We call that as oxysol. Although it's not literally red, it's kind of orange. Ang suffix niya is OX. Well, why? Well, dito sa ang mga oxysols mo kasi, these are highly weathered soils. Napakataas po ng iron and aluminum oxide dyan. So madalas mapapansin mo yan sa mga tropical areas kung saan napakataas ng rainfall. Kapag laging natutuluan ng ulan, yung lupa na yan, so madalas nagkakaroon ng leaching, specifically leaching of your, let's say, organic matter content. Kaya ang natitira is yung mga iron and aluminum oxides. And because of that, your oxysols, I mean, they're very, very acidic. Okay? They are very acidic soils. Another one would be your spodosol. Your spodosol has the suffix OD. Now, this one, very unique. Acidic din tong lupa na to. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, yung kanyang surface here, they are bleached. But, yung nasa baba niya, medyo mayaman sa organic matter. So, these are acidic soils with a bleached, sandy surface horizon, wherein overlying a layer enriched with organic matter, aluminum, and iron. So, medyo bleach yung dito sa taas, pero sa baba, may organic matter, may aluminum, and may iron content. Now, ang spodosols mo, madalas yan makikita sa mga coniferous forests. Coniferous forests. Now, when you say coniferous forests, these are forests with tall, with trees. These are forests filled with trees such as your pine tree, right? Kasi ang pine tree mo, they enclose their seed through a cone, right? So we call those areas na maraming pine trees as coniferous. So kapag maraming coniferous plants like pine trees, spruce trees, etc., then that's coniferous forest. Why? Ano kaya yung logic kung bakit ang spodosol madalas makita sa mga coniferous forest? Mapapansin nyo sa coniferous forest, yung mga pine trees natin, for instance, naglalagas yan ng kanilang pine needles, right? And yung pine needles na yon is actually very rich in acidic matter. Now, kapag nahulog yan, so mag-accumulate yung mga, let's say, yung mga pine needles dyan, magiging acidic tong portion na to. That is why, yung uppermost portion ng lupa, magiging bleach siya. Right? So, bleach yung kulay ng upper portion ng lupa. But of course, kapag bumaba na yan, syempre, maiiwan dito maiiwan dyan for yung mga pine needles sa taas kasi dyan sila naiipon. Pagbaba na dito, since protected sila with the pine needle as well, mapapansin mo na mayaman din sa organic matter, aluminum and iron content, yung baba na portion niya. So these are spodosols naman. We also have ultisols, right? Ultisols is parang kapatid daw ni alfisol. Although si alfisol, mas mataas ang, mas fertile si alfisol kaysa kay ultisol. Ang ultisols mo, they are weathered soils. Mataas din ang clay content nila, but mababa ang base saturation. Ibig sabihin, these soils, due to frequent weathering na nangyayari due to frequent weathering, wala masyadong base cations. Therefore, your ultisols are also acidic. So, acidic siya kahit mataas yung kanyang clay content. So, these are your ultisol orders. And ang kanyang suffix is ULT. So, kapag nakita nyo yung ULT, automatic ultisol na yan. And lastly, we have vertisols with the suffix ERT. Now, what is very, very unique with your vertisols is that they expand kapag sila ay wet and they shrink when they are dry. And because of that characteristic, madalas makikita mo sa mga vertisols mo, they have deep, deep cracks. Okay? So, ito, kung mapapansin nyo, napakaraming parang spaces in between the soils. These are cracks caused by the expanding and shrinking of your soil. Now, your vertisols are usually found in areas that has seasonal wet and seasonal dry periods. So, kapag wet nga naman, nag-expand yung lupa, And kapag dry, nag-shrink yung lupa, causing now these deep cracks. So that's it for today. For tomorrow, I hope we will be discussing other soil classifications based on the hierarchy na napag-usapan natin kanina. Siguro we will cover temperature regimes, moisture regimes, and others. Let's see kung ano yung mga pwede kong i-cover doon. Thank you and God bless everyone.